The Earth has always been full of mystery, and we know that science doesn't always have the answers. Stories that have been passed down through the generations might not always be a cultural myth or an old wives' tale. There might be an element of truth in them. The following stories are about ancient places on Earth that are full of strange tales that have been passed down through the ages. Is there any basis of fact in these myths, or are they just made-up stories told by superstitious people thousands of years ago? Abu Ghurab, Egypt. Abu Ghurab is regarded as one of the most precious ancient treasures of Egypt, and is also one of the most amazing archaeological locations on the planet. It is located south of Cairo in Egypt and situated near the desert plateau on the western bank of the River Nile. The Abu Ghurab is an archaeological site comprising the sun temples of the pharaohs Nyuserteni and Userkaf, both of which were built in the 25th century BCE. It is also believed that this site is one of the oldest stargates found in the world. Within Abu Ghurab, there is an ancient platform that is crafted from alabaster, which is a translucent form of gypsum, typically white and often carved into ornaments. Alabaster is regarded by ancient Egyptians as the precious stone of the sun gods and was thought to be in sync with the vibrations of the earth. This ancient platform was shaped into the Kemetian symbol Hotep, which stands for peace. Although the exact purpose of the platform is unknown, one theory is that it was used to harness and channel certain vibrations and earth energies to convey a kind of harmonic resonance. It has been defined as an organizing force that transcends other forces in the physical world in order to create an enhanced sense of enlightenment and awareness of the universe. The platform was constructed to elevate people's spiritual awareness and in turn allow them to communicate with the sacred energies of the universe, known as Netas, which is the original Egyptian word for God. Netas was said to have on occasion actually visited Earth, possibly through Abu Ghurab itself, essentially making it a stargate. Like many religions and other spiritual beliefs around the world, there is a fine line between what was actually based on reality and what is passed down through the ages as just an ancient legend. Sedona, Arizona. Sedona is a city located in the northern Verde Valley of Arizona. Human presence in the Sedona area dates to between 11,500 and 9,000 BCE. The area has a rich history of Native American settlements who all regarded the valley as special and sacred. It is believed that the red rocks of the city's desert are spiritually charged and that Sedona has power spots and vortexes, making the mountains of Arizona the home of the purported doorway to the gods that transports beings to and from another time and space. Many people visit Sedona with spiritual and metaphysical interests. Sedona has long been regarded as both sacred and powerful, a cathedral without walls. There are many overseas visitors who come to experience the mysterious cosmic forces that are said to emanate from the red rocks. Many people are regularly seen meditating at the vortex sites. The vortexes are thought to be centers of energy and healing. People who visit Sedona feel inspired and recharged. Although Sedona is considered to be a vortex, there are specific sites where the energy appears more intense. The four most well-known Sedona vortexes are found at Airport Mesa, Cathedral Rock, Bell Rock, and Boynton Canyon, where each has its own particular energy. Some are thought to produce energy flowing upward, while at others the energy spirals downwards, entering the earth. Sedona has developed a worldwide reputation as a place of enlightenment. It is not surprising that it is home to a large community that promotes healing and spiritual practices. Ancient Stone Arrangement, Michigan. The Great Lakes in Michigan began to form at the end of the last glacial period around 14,000 years ago, as retreating ice sheets exposed the basins that had carved into the land, which eventually filled with melted ice. It is theorized that during this period, local tribes at the time built stone circles and carved animals into the rocks Then thousands of years later, in 2007, scientists discovered the Stonehenge-like stone structures standing on the floor of Lake Michigan. They discovered two ancient stone circles. One of the stone circles would have been connected to the Native Americans, which contained a stone calendar in the medicine wheel circle of life. The underwater Stonehenge of Lake Michigan must have been created before the last ice age, when the lake bed was dry, and that is, according to researchers, over 12,000 years ago, a time that, according to history, humans would not have had the knowledge or means to erect such elaborate constructions. These structures are believed to be 9,000 years old, but one of its stones had a carving of a mastodon, an elephant-like creature that became extinct more than 10,000 years ago. What baffled scientists was that the mastodon rock was made out of granite, which is a very hard material. So how were the people able to carve something into this stone? They would have needed a tool harder than granite. What tool would they have used 10,000 years ago to be able to carve something into a granite rock? Further questions had to be asked when the marks and lines that make out the mastodon figure were precisely carved. The lines were not just scratched into a rock. An amazing feature about the stones was that they all measured the same distance across. The rock formation found at the bottom of Lake Michigan resembles other structures found in England and France, and even those at Nabta Playa in Egypt. The rocks were definitely not a natural formation. The location of the structures was not disclosed out of respect to the local Native American tribes. The exact age of the site is still debated by scientists. It is believed that the ancient stone arrangement could be a stargate or a portal, because the area is also known for the mysterious disappearances and other strange anomalies of boats and ships that sailed on the lake, and where some of the boats vanished along with its crew, while others stayed afloat on its water for days. Experts are unable to agree on what functions the stone circles served, except that they had something to do with the stars, sun, and the moon. Skeletons have also been found at some sites, suggesting that ritual human sacrifice. The stone circles held great significance for the people, and like Stonehenge and other huge structures around the world, they were somehow able to move huge rocks in a pattern relating to or explaining the gods without modern methods or machinery. When the first Europeans arrived in the 17th century, they found that Michigan had thousands of prehistoric mounds, and where scientists found sacred stones across the geography of the Great Lakes. The stones, according to the natives, were placed by another race who lived there before. Statues and stone idols erected in various parts were discovered weighing over 100 kilograms. Like a collective consciousness, did different civilizations divided by oceans and land seem compelled to move rocks into a circle to enable them to communicate with the universe. Gate of the Gods, Hayumaca, Peru. Hayumaca is situated high in a rocky mountain terrain and has been protected by the Peruvian government as a nation archaeological site and therefore virtually unexplored. In 1996, tour guide Jose Luis Delgado Mamani came upon an ancient site situated in the vicinity of Lake Titicaca in the mountainous region of Peru while he was exploring the area for his job. The region is known by the local natives as the City of the Gods. As he approached the huge gateway, he found it strangely familiar, until he suddenly realised that he'd seen the gateway previously in his dreams. The huge gateway was carved from the rock face, standing 7 meters high by 7 meters wide, with a smaller door inside at the base. In the centre of the smaller door was a circular depression. For many years he had dreamt of a pink marble gateway with a small inset door that emanated a mysterious blue light. On seeing this, he suddenly became overwhelmed and light-headed. He then asked himself, surely this must be a coincidence. Once he recognised the doorway from his dreams, he immediately contacted archaeological lists who were familiar with the legends about the area. Apparently, some of the people, while inspecting the structures, had placed their hands on the door and claimed that they could feel an energy pulsating from the other side. Others could hear strange music. Some of the scientists were struck by the amazing resemblance to another structure with similar Stargate capabilities called the Gate of the Sun in Tiwanaku, Bolivia. There were also 5 other archaeological points that were connected in a grid-like pattern whose lines intersected exactly where the plateau and Lake Titicaca happened to be. The locals tell a story about an Incan priest called Aramu Maru, who served in the Temple of the Seven Rays and had to flee the temple in the 16th century to escape from the Spanish conquerors that had invaded Peru. Maru had a golden disc known as the Key of the Gods of the Seven Rays. He escaped to the mountain of Hayumaku, where he performed a ritual with shaman priests to open the smaller doorway of the Gate of the Gods. As he entered the doorway, an electrifying blue light could be seen blazing through the tunnel, and as he passed through, he suddenly vanished, never to be seen again. Could that supposedly mythical story be based on fact? That the gateway is actually a portal to other worlds containing numerous tunnels inside the mountain, which were capable of transporting humans into other dimensions. For many years, Peru has been a well-known hotspot for UFO activity, and could there be a connection to alien activity? Locals claim to have witnessed significant UFO activity such as twinkling blue lights and white glowing discs. Are these signs of an ancient advanced technology in Peru, or something even more out of the ordinary? And are these stargates actually alien portals to alternate universes, passages through which people or other beings can pass through?